All right, hey there, guys. Happy Sunday night. We are live talking about a few things. Today was a warm day. Highs were in the upper 90s. And we saw a couple of clouds that got a little tall in height and some showers and storms to our south across Atascosa County, south of San Antonio. That's where some of the rain was pretty heavy at times. We didn't really move into the city. But we do have more rain expected tomorrow. So we'll talk about that. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. We'll be talking all things weather on this Sunday night, so feel free to chime in. Before we get to that, always getting a lot of questions this time of year when summer's wrapping up, Labor Day's around the corner. When is our first cold front? Now, first and foremost, what do you consider cold? Obviously, for meteorologists, anything that's cooler than the previous day, if a front moves through, that is technically a cold front. So if a high temperature is at 99 and the next day is at 97 or 96, that's technically a cold front. But for those watching, what is considered chilly? Anything, for some below 80, below 70, below 50. So that's why we made this graphic right here. Left column shows the max temperature below, for the forecast high. The second column represents the average date that those temperatures arrive with the first cold front of the season. Now, so for example, for a high temperature to go below 80 degrees, that typically happens mid to late September. Over 120, 30 years of data, mid-September in San Antonio is typically when that happens. Now, last year though, our high temperature didn't fall below 80 until October 5th. So it was a little past schedule. Behind schedule, I should say. When forecast highs go below 70, that's usually early to mid-October. Last year, it happened around Halloween. As a matter of fact, if you remember Halloween last year, we had a strong cold front, a strong burst of air before Halloween Day, and that dropped highs into the 40s and 50s last year on Halloween. So that just shows you, on average, what may happen in September and October. So we still have about a month to go before that really starts to happen, and we start getting fronts moving in week by week. So hopefully we have that in the forecast in the next month or so. Speaking of forecast, we have rain chances tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, every single day, as a matter of fact. The best chance at what we're pinpointing for a good coverage of rain is tomorrow and Tuesday. So if you're driving out anywhere, if you're back to work, back to school, I know a lot of people UIW, I think, is back to school tomorrow. A lot of kiddos are back to school. Between 12 o'clock and 8 p.m. tomorrow, there will be scattered rain and a few thunderstorms around. It's not going to be all-day rain, but the chance is pretty high, 50-50 on rain coverage for tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. So if you're driving home from work around 4, 5, or 6 p.m., like most of us are, that may impact the Monday evening commute. Some of those roads may be a little slick. Grace, any storms expected overnight tonight? No, there are a couple of isolated cells west and south of San Antonio. We'll actually take a look at radar, Grace, to kind of answer those questions. Just want to double check audio is working A-OK. Okay, perfect. So yeah, earlier today, this is the last 3 hours, for example. So between Cuero, Victoria, Atascosa County, south of San Antonio, saw a couple of good storms erupt with the heating of the day. These are summertime storms, so they rely on heat. It's 8:15 at night. We're wrapping up the day. Sunset is just about here. And without the heating of the day, we lose the hot air rising, and that loses the power, the fuel for some of these showers and storms. With that being said, let's stop the clock real quick and show you what we have. So I want to take off this particular radar and turn on sweeping. So there are a couple of, isolated cells that'll probably last about 5 to 15 minutes at best. Again, these are summertime storms. They last that long, 10 to 15 minutes, and then they rain themselves out. That's about it. So between Lake Hills and Utopia, north of Highway 90, a couple of isolated downpours out there. I think these are false returns on the radar north of Garden Ridge. Yeah, that's right here. You can see this is actually bats flying out of a bat cave, or there's a bat cave somewhere north of Garden Ridge. That usually happens in the evenings. Birds and other animals will fly out, and that'll be typically picked up on the radar. So that right there over Garden Ridge in northeastern San Antonio, east of Bulverde and 281, that is not rain, that's a false return. With that being said, a couple of sprinkles possible between Castle Hills and Scenic Oaks. But in regarding the more organized shower and storm activity, it's over Medina County and just into parts of Bandera County as well. Aside from that, that's just clouds out there, guys. Any severe storms expected tonight or tomorrow. So Grace, nothing tonight. Most of this will fall apart. That's west of San Antonio. But tomorrow afternoon and then through 8 p.m. tomorrow, 12 to 8, I think is the best window at seeing a few showers moving into the region. And some of those could be heavy to strong storms in San Antonio and around the hill country between here, Floresville, Seguin, for example. All have a chance for some pretty good rain tomorrow. Let me show you why. You can't see it too much, but over the last 3 hours, you can kind of see a little spin in the atmosphere of the Gulf of Mexico. I don't know if I have, let me see, let me just double check. Let me see if I can draw this out. So there's a very broad area of rotation right about here. This is an upper level low. This is an upper level feature that's providing energy. And what this is going to do, this is going to move towards San Antonio and towards pretty much South Texas tomorrow morning, tomorrow night, and through early Tuesday. And when you mix that in with a lot of humidity, which by the way we have, plus a lot of heat, highs in the middle 90s, we're going to have a perfect setup for rain tomorrow. So there's that energy and moves across Texas tomorrow and Tuesday. Tomorrow and Tuesday is our best opportunity at seeing rain. Here's the hour by hour. Tomorrow morning for the morning commute should be just fine. Partly cloudy, if not sunny. It's clear. By tomorrow afternoon, look how active it gets. And again, that's not all day rain, but we could see a couple of waves of rain move through between 12 and 2 tomorrow, and then another wave of rain between 4 and 6 tomorrow evening. And some of that could be heavy, not expecting anything severe. So to answer your question, Grace, not expecting anything severe, not hail, not straight line wind damage. Some of the storms that form could produce gusty winds near 30 to 40 miles an hour. And some lightning and some localized heavy rain, but that's the extent of tomorrow's severity. We're not expecting max severe storms tomorrow. So tomorrow's forecast, highs if we're lucky, maybe even in the upper 80s tomorrow. If we see rain form as early as noon to 1, we may be limited to about 89 to 90. Right now we're forecasting a high of about 91 tomorrow. And just kind of waves of rain and cloud cover moving through San Antonio between noon and about 7 and 8 p.m. tomorrow evening, which is why there's an alert for tomorrow. How much rain? It depends on where you're at, and of course, it more importantly depends on where these showers and storms set up. Coverage, widely scattered. Those who get lucky to be underneath one of these storms could produce upwards of 1 to 2 inches of rain in a short amount of time, but you can see on this map right here, other direction, right here, it's going to range. I mean, you know, this particular forecast model is what you're looking at. This was a lot different 6 to 12 hours ago. This was a lot different last night, for example. So depending on where exactly these showers and storms set up, they will be capable of dropping a half an inch of rain to an inch of rain, where some of us might only see a hundredth to a tenth of an inch of rain, or some of us may see 2 inches of rain. So it's impossible to pinpoint where exactly they're going to move through. We know rain will form, and we know it's going to be scattered, and hopefully it falls underneath, falls over your house and over San Antonio, because we need it. Our yards need it. Our drought needs it across the hill country, Bernie to Fredericksburg to Kerrville. We all need it. And July was beneficial, but August so far has been extremely dry, and we do need more rain. That is for sure. All right. Grace, you're very welcome. Hope you're having a wonderful night, guys. Be safe. Bring on the rain from Mary. Yeah, I hope we get some. AJ, I know. I hope so, man. I hope so. Hope we get some rain. Obviously, it's not going to be everywhere, but scattered 50% is the chance for tomorrow, and I think most of us have a decent shot at seeing a pretty good shower at least, and some of us will see heavier rain, just worried depending on where the pockets of thunderstorms set up across the area. Okay, that's the forecast, guys. Have a wonderful Sunday night. Be safe tomorrow. Tomorrow morning's fine. It's tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow evening between 12 and 8 is the best chance at seeing scattered rain and a few thunderstorms, non-severe. At the most, producing some lightning and some heavy rain, which we desperately need. Same thing on Tuesday. I think a little less on coverage on Tuesday, but notice Monday and Tuesday, our highest chance at scattered rain and a few storms. Temperature's not bad, 91. Compare that to last week of 108, which was a record, by the way, last Wednesday. We're wrapping up August, by the way, this week with mid-90s. September 1st begins this time next weekend on Sunday. And we're welcoming in September with seasonal heat, not as hot as last week. That's the good news, but middle 90s, partly cloudy, and even some rain chances as we wrap up August and into early September. Have a great week, guys, and be safe. And get ready for some rain tomorrow and Tuesday. Scattered rain and a few storms will be possible after noon and to about, let's say, 6 or 7 p.m. tomorrow night. And then Tuesday morning, another chance for some storms as well. Have a great week, guys, and be safe.